to this week's Make a Thing. This time we're going to take a look at an early script. This I talked about before, though. Sometimes we do sort of exploratory writing to figure out, where stuff's going to go, what characters are like, and all this stuff. So none of this stuff is we're going to be using parts of this, but none of it's like canon or whatever canon means. But it's a good window into like how we've been thinking about it and the sort of the beginning of the process. So we started out, I was calling the main character Allison. We've since changed that. And the way that Wisteria sort of works is also been sort of reconceptualized. So you'll see a little bit of that change as well. And certainly like the way that she's interacting with it is totally changed from what you may have already seen in the earlier Make of Things, where you can actually see the legit actual first episode in storyboard form. But it's sort of interesting to compare these things and to see hints at where we're going or things we want to talk about. And I was really going to try and get people to act it out, but I figured I would just let's just read through it. And if you have any comments, write them down below, and I'll see you after the episode. Exterior castle ruins day. A broken stone tower, fuzzy with vines and lichen, looks out over the ocean. It is a windy, beautiful day. At the foot of the tower are a herd of goats. Interior castle ruins continuous. Rylan, a scrappy and scruffy 6-year-old girl, is calling to a goat that has almost hopped to the top of the shattered staircase. She tries to follow, but it's dangerous. Rylan. "Oh, you bad goat, come down! Come down or you'll get no gourds for dinner!" A faraway voice calls back to her. Hope, off-screen. "Papa said don't climb in the castle, Rylan." "Papa said don't take the goats to the cliff because they start climbing down and you can't get them up again, and then they die at night of being so cold, but you did that anyway." Exterior castle ruins day. Hope, 20, sits near the edge of a cliff reading a book. She looks over the edge, winces. Hope's point of view. About a dozen goats are stuck on various perches below. They look up. What? One hops to another rock, almost falling into the sea. Hope sighs, turns back to her book. "Well, be careful." Insert. The cover shows 3 well-dressed women, backs to each other, facing off against sword-wielding knights. The title, The Ladyborn and the Curse of Cavendish Keep. She can't focus and closes the book, and then looks out at the water, churning in the wind. Rylan, off-screen. "Oh, look at this, Hope! So pretty!" Hope looks back to the tower, ready to be annoyed. At the top, Rylan is waving a bronze mask of some kind. Hope furrows her brow. What the hell is that? Exterior, farm, evening. Chimney smoke curls from a small, thatched cottage. We hear a kindly voice from inside. Papa, off-screen. "Might be we can sell it at market after worship. Halsey used to be a county historian up in Wedderton. I bet he'd pay 10 or 20. He loves junk from old battles." Interior, kitchen, continuous. The place isn't well-to-do, but it's got a rough-hewn charm. Rylan has been given the job of stirring the pot, while Papa, 53, flicks goat meat into the stew. Hope sits at the kitchen table, nudging the bronze mask with the tip of the knife she should be using to dice carrots. While Rylan talks, Hope examines the mask. Insert. Half wrapped in rotten cloth, it's not exactly human-looking, more of a decorative suggestion of a face. It looks heavy, but has delicate flourishes, and there are 3 vertical lenses for eyes. Hope. "I'm not selling it." Rylan. "I found it. I should sell it." "What is it?" Papa tells her with a dramatic flourish. Papa. "The head of a magical walking metal man." Rylan, unimpressed. "Oh. Well, I'm going to sell it and buy Ropey." Papa. "Ropey, eh?" Rylan. "Yes. Thomas Kip's second riding pony. They never use Ropey to do anything or carry anything heavy. I'm sure he'd like that. Ponies love to carry things, and I'd give him big fat rocks." Papa takes the unused knife out of Hope's hand, scoops up the uncut carrots, and chops them into the pot. She doesn't notice his mild annoyance, and continues to turn the mask in her hands. It was never there before. I know every stone in that tower. Papa. It was there. You just missed it, darling. Hope. Had you seen it? He shrugs. She looks irritated. He walks to the table and sits opposite her, gently taking the mask from her hands, looking it over himself. Papa. Not everything is a great hurry, Hope. I know you're looking for any thread of adventure to tease out of your life, but that life is long. Hope. Mama's wasn't. Ryland tenses, suddenly fighting tears. Papa sees it, gives a look to Hope, puts the mask down, and goes to Ryland, who is stirring with extra effort. He stops her hands. Papa, do you need to cry? She firmly shakes her head. Papa, don't not cry, or your heart will hurt all night. She tries to fight it for a second, but can't, and instantly bursts into tears. He hugs her, and after a few seconds, she stops sobbing. Papa, okay, all set? She nods, takes up the spoon, and starts stirring again. Papa, good work. Then, to Hope, the stew will be a while. Round up the animals, please. Hope winces. Exterior, castle, ruins, dusk. Hope is leaning out over the cliff, holding out a tin pail of seedy-looking tubers and peelings, whacking it with a stick like a bell. She is aggravated. Guts, 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 guts. The animals look perfectly happy to disregard her, standing on the ledges below, looking out to the last of the sunset. Hope sighs, stops. She kicks a rock angrily off a cliff, watching it fall and splash. Then something glints below, catching the last of the sunlight. She squints. Next to the goat's butt, about 20 feet down, is a dirty bronze hand. The goat is passively eating grass from between its metal knuckles. Hope, to herself. That's impossible. Immediately, she hikes up her skirts and kneels, trying to find a way down. In a few moments, she's down to the next ledge. Hope examines the situation and sees she won't be able to reach the object without a dangerous stretch. The goat watches her work this out, defensive of his grass. She gets an idea. She reaches back to the top of the cliff and grabs the stick and bucket, dumping the contents. In that moment, she realizes the narrowness of the ledge she is on and takes a breath. This is stupid. She looks at the hand. She decides to go for it anyway. Hope edges closer, holding the stick out. It hits the thing's metallic elbow, causing the goat to yelp indignantly. Hope continued. It's okay. Bah! Bah! Angry. The others join in. She leans out further, gives it another knock, trying to hook it with the bent tip of the stick. It scoots this way, and gravel skitters off the ledge, but it doesn't oblige. Another swing. Clink. The hand falls. Hope lunges with the bucket, catching it and herself simultaneously. She smiles, breathing hard. An explosion. Red light fills the air above the cliff. Hope drops the bucket and stick, and they disappear into the sea. She falls back against the cliffside, panicked. Another boom. Hope starts climbing desperately, pulling herself up over the top. Insert Hope's point of view far down the hill. The fields are burning. A dozen riders in red enamel armor are galloping in an arc across her father's farmland, throwing round red grenades, destroying every structure they see. More of these knights are gathered around her house, where we can make out Rylan and Papa being pulled from the cottage. She is horror-struck. She runs to them, screaming, Hope! Rylan! Papa! But they are too far away to hear her. Rylan is crying as she is tied up and hauled toward the back of the wagon. Other villagers have been packed in already, all sobbing. Rylan reaches for her father, begging for his help. He breaks free from the guard, who is holding him, and gets about 5 steps before the commander, a tall, gray-haired woman, 50, notices him. With a sudden lunge, she runs him through the green-edged longsword. He falls, holding his hand out to Rylan as long as he can, and dies. Hope screams, runs harder. No! Papa! Suddenly a rider is upon her, and he smashes Hope in the back of the neck with the pommel of his blade. She hits the ground, stunned but not unconscious. The knight and his partner pull her up and bind her wrists behind her. She wobbles, drunkenly, looking back at the cottage. Insert Hope's POV. Her vision is blurry and swimming, but she can see her sister thrown in the back of the wagon, tears streaming from her eyes. The driver whips the horses, and she is taken away. Hope, barely audible. No. Another knight comes out of the cottage, holding out the bronze mask to the gray-haired woman. She takes it, nods to him, and rides off. They all follow. Hope looks hollowed out with grief. The look on her face says she blames herself. The riders lift her up, carry her away, as her home is set aflame. Interior Drone Dream Suite. The room is small, but has the appointments of an expensive hotel. A nurse sits opposite his unconscious patient, Allison, 26, waiting for her to wake up. Allison lies in a bed that would look very comfortable if not for the complex device that is holding her skull in place with tapered steel fingers. From within the machine, black wands wave and shine points of light all around her head. Above it, a panel streams brainwave activity on an animated chart, spiking and beeping. Sensing she's about to wake up, the chart shimmers into a painting of flowers. Simultaneously, the spider-like device lets go and retracts into the wall. Beneath her head, a pillow gently inflates. Abruptly, Allison sits up with a gasp. There is a moment of shock, then puts a hand to her mouth and sobs. Allison. Holy shit! Holy shit! Oh my god! Nurse. It's okay. You're okay. We just have a few questions. Do you remember your name and address? Allison Bergman. I live at... She can't get it. Nurse. Take it easy, it'll come. Even after the lecithin is flushed out, it takes a minute or two for the synapses to get back on track. A little panic kicking in. Allison. It's not... Suddenly, with relief. 1444 was seen. Jesus Christ, that's really scary. Nurse. Only the first couple of times. Don't let it keep you from coming back. You want to see how it all turns out, don't you? The nurse smiles. Allison doesn't. Interior drone bathroom. Allison is at the mirror, wiping her eyes and getting her act together. She sighs, remembering her experience. She shakes her head in disbelief. She touches something at the back of her head when another woman, 56, decked out in Wisteria fan clothing, comes up to wash her hands. Superfan. Who were you? Allison. Hope. Superfan. So was I! Oh, wasn't that great? So sad. But really intense character motivation, you know. There's nothing like a good inciting incident. I wish I could afford to stay on and save my sister and kill that bitch. Are you going back in? Allison shakes her head. Gift card from a friend. The woman barely hears her as she dries her hand under a blue lamp, distracted with memory. Superfan. I really thought we were going to get that extra piece of the mecha. I heard on the boards you can wake them up if you collect all the parts. But they make them so damn hard to get. Did you think of the bucket? Smiles at her. I bet that was you. You remind me of my daughter. She's so smart. Bye-bye now. She leaves. Allison is completely weirded out. So there you go. That is the first semi-stab at an episode for Wisteria. And I still think a lot of that's really pretty good. So it may show up in one form or another as we move forward. I like Hope a lot. I like the characters in there, and maybe we can make something out of that. But certainly it ties into a lot of the backstory that we've already talked about and hinted at if you've been listening to the Wisteria podcast, which is available where you get your podcasts. It's called Long Live the Queen. That's it. Long live the Queen. And it's interviews with people who are connected to Wisteria in the world of Wisteria. Everything's been going good. I'm animating my brain out to try to get the first episode's animation done by Christmas. We'll see if that is going to happen. I don't know. But I will update you with that, and we'll put up the first pass, no sound effects, etc. of that for you guys to check out the week after this coming week. And oh yeah, the other great stuff is that we did some brainstorming on what to do about a website, and we came up with a really freaky idea that I am very proud of, and I think that we're all very psyched with. But you'll get more of that very soon. And I think that's it. Everyone else has just been jamming away. But we'll see you next week on Make a Thing, and we'll keep on making a thing. Bye.